Welcome to the Shut Your Mouth Lounge, episode number 298. Addy,
Yes.
are you here?
No.
Well, unfortunately, I'm not here either, so today there's no one on the podcast. Whatever will we do?
Yeah.
So anyways, yes, it's episode 298, and what do you got on your channel? Quickly,
Nothing.
let's just get to it before we get to the topics.
Nothing.
Alright, on my own channel, there will be Conan and Total War Warhammer for quite some time. The Conan stuff, there are going to be more Conan videos coming out, and oh boy, it's going to be funny. I don't know if I'm going to do anything about it, probably not, but there's going to be a big update coming soon on September 22nd. Let me tell you, the videos are going to be going through stuff prior to that update, long after September 22nd. You know, we might finally catch up to a video recorded on September 22nd after the September 22nd update. You know, might finally upload on November 22nd or somewhere in December.
Yeah, you're not trying to see why we have the schedule the way it is. It's not because I'm trying to draw things out.
Yeah, it's a video every other day. It's just holy shit, we played a lot of it. And Total War Warhammer, yeah, I'm having a lot of fun as Ostankia, as old Grandma Stanky. I'm curious about the others. I'm curious about trying something new there as well. I'm curious about seeing what I can do. But if there's anything that happens there, that'll be a surprise. Now, as for the group channel, let me take a look at the schedule here. Let's see. All right. Tomorrow, on Monday, it will be a rather unfortunate date for Americans, but don't worry, we've got the cure just for what ails you. Fire Pro World Part 18.
Oh!
On Tuesday.
I didn't know what the date was.
Yeah? On Tuesday. Assassin's Creed Brotherhood Part 2 with Pink. On Wednesday, Melty Blood Act Cadenza Part 2. On Thursday, a short. Are you going to eat your shorts soon? Soon? Who's soon? Pink? No, he's not here either. Mike? No, not Mike. Ted? He's not here either. Damn. Goku? Wait, nope, not there either. Addy, are you going to eat your shorts?
No.
Damn it! All that build up for no shorts eating. On Friday, you and me play the rather interesting Mortal Kombat, Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3 hack on the Mega Drive, Mortal Kombat Revelations. You and I both dusted off our Sega Mega Drives, and we hooked them up.
Yes, it's just like you said, both of us busted them out.
Yeah. It definitely happened like that. And the Sega Mega Drive definitely has the ability to play online.
Yep.
And on Saturday, Street Fighter 6 Part 10. Yes.
Possibly.
And that is our schedule for the week.
All right.
Now, we have a topic. So, that topic is: what is one game or series that you tried when it was obscure and thought, there is no way this thing could ever be a success, be mainstream? And then you were proven very, very wrong.
All right, well, let's see.
I think we share at least one. that I can think of off the top of my head.
Yeah, Blaze Blue.
Yeah, huge mainstream success. What?
Yep. I'm making a joke.
Well, maybe you could almost say like, well, maybe Cross Tag Battle. I don't. Did Cross Tag Battle do good numbers?
Maybe. I'm not sure.
I mean, it's got Ruby there, and Ruby I would probably say is a bigger license in the West than Blaze Blue, but God, that is still the weirdest crossover decision of all time. A 4-way crossover between Blaze Blue, Persona, Under Night, and Ruby. Just what we've all been waiting for. You know what this needs? A Nazi tank.
Yes.
So we share Yakuza on this one.
I don't know, cause you might have gotten onto Yakuza before it became mainstream, but like I played Zero first, so does that count?
I would well, yeah. Zero was followed by 6, and 6 was not like a big success in the West. I don't think it was really until the Kiwamis came out that Yakuza started to get big in the West. And retroactively, Zero did wind up being the biggest success out of them. But like I think that Zero still took a few years to set in for the West.
Yeah.
And I think then on some level we played Zero before it started to become like suddenly Kiryu and Majima memes are everywhere. What happened?
Yeah, before Kiryu's name was legally changed to Dame Dame Man.
Yeah.
Dame Dame Man.
Yeah. He do it. He done diddly do it.
I also like, as a side note, I don't know if you've been keeping up with it. Oh, there's that new game they're releasing called Ryuga Gotoku Gaiden, The Man Without Name, and
The man who erased his name.
Yeah, that's the one. But yeah, so in that the all of the advertisements were just like, oh, this is not Kiryu, this is Joryu. This is Joryu. He's Joryu. Who is this Kiryu guy?
Right.
You read the description of the game on the PlayStation Store, and it says, join Kazuma Kiryu under the codename Joryu.
Mm-hmm.
And I just found that so funny because they spent all of that time going, it's not Kiryu when it obviously is. To then go, alright, fuck it, it's Kiryu. You happy?
Well, twists like in Japanese media, it seems like when there's an obvious twist ahead of time, like American media will have some degree of acceptance, or Western media will have some degree of acceptance of when there's an obvious twist ahead of time. The Japanese media seems to be a lot more like try to play coy with it. Like, no, you don't know what's coming.
They want to
Or
keep it
no. He may look like Kiryu, but no, he's Joryu. He's Joryu. And then they expect it to actually be a twist when halfway through the game, Joryu says, I used to go by the name Kazuma Kiryu. I used to be a Yakuza. And they're expecting people to start flipping tables and going like, oh my god!
Yeah, the style switcher on the top right just says Beast.
Yeah.
Well,
no, wouldn't the style switch on top say Dragon of Dojima?
I mean, if they're freaking out and they're throwing tables and shit, that would be Beast.
I suppose so. Yeah, that would make more sense.
Like it's not Kiryu's style switcher, it's the players.
Okay, yeah, that does make more sense. Oh boy.
But yeah, Yakuza could count here. Guilty Gear could count here. Regardless of our opinions on where the series is headed.
Yeah, Guilty Gear's a big one, because, X2 and Ixar did not do numbers. Strive very much did. And then suddenly everyone was always a Bridget fan.
Yes.
That one was crazy. Like Yakuza and Guilty Gear are both ones like we could point to though of like we've talked before about both those series and how on some level them hitting the mainstream also kind of co-aligned with a simultaneous thing of like I don't really care where the Yakuza series goes. I had my time with Yakuza 0. I enjoyed it. I didn't even finish Yakuza 0. I don't think I even got more than halfway through the game. You're a big Yakuza fan, but that series very much went in a direction you don't like. And on what was it Ted said the other day? Ted's term for Street Fighter betrayed the fundamental series promise or something like that. Which, we're not going to dig that up because that's a topic you and I have gone over thousands of fucking times.
Yeah.
But like Guilty Gear, similarly, a series where it hit a new entry. I lost interest. I like X2. I'm cool with Exard. Don't really care about anything else. But Strive is one that, for you, betrayed the fundamental series promise. So those are both examples of games that went mainstream, but when they did, they also at the same time made a fundamental choice that lost you.
Yeah, although it is funny to say that like that is true. At the same time, you have a worse opinion of Strive than I do. Cause like I can while playing Strive, I can divorce it from or when it was on free weekends or whatever whenever there were the network tests or whatever the fuck. Like I can divorce the game from whatever and just look at it as alright, I am playing this. This is what the game is telling me it wants to be. Can I enjoy this? Can I enjoy the thing that the game wants to be and its execution of what it is? And Strive I could enjoy in short bursts. It never was going to be a game that I play a lot. But I can look at it and go, okay, yeah, we will if we play like I don't know, a session once every like half a year. I can see myself enjoying Strive. You, on the other hand, you got a hold of Strive, and you went, fuck this sucks. I hate it.
When the very first beta happened back in the day, I was trying really hard to like Nagoriyuki, and shit was not working. Because Nagoriyuki, not my character, despite how hard I tried to make him my character. Like, I kept assuming, like, okay, this is Slayer traded, good mobility, and mix-ups for, big hitboxes. No, he doesn't really get big hitboxes either. He's just Slayer lost out on good mobility and mix-ups, which means he just kind of sucks. But, though to my understanding, a lot of people can do good work with Nago, and if you can, by all means, I didn't get it, but that doesn't mean that nobody else can. And when we played the second open network test, that one I just played a couple matches of Nago and went, oh, I don't even remember who it was I played after that. Like Faust, I also remember not really enjoying.
Yeah, and then Potemkin.
There we go. That's what I was about to say. I actually do really enjoy Strive if I'm only playing Potemkin. Like, I've heard people say, I don't really like this fighting game. I just really like this character. And I've never run into that. There's never been a fighting game where I just don't like the game, but I do like one specific character. Until Strive. I don't like Strive. I do enjoy playing Potemkin and Strive. And even then, a lot of my enjoyment of Potemkin and Strive comes down to just simply, oh, Potemkin in that game is fucking stupid because he's still kind of crap, but he has, I don't know, fairly good control of the screen right in front of him. And, if he hits a pot buster, he just wins the round.
Yeah.
Which is stupid. And I enjoy that. And it's very much a contrast from when we play X2, and I never get pot busters. Strive, I was pot bustering all day, and it was kind of stupid. Because, generally speaking, the more anime the game is, the harder a time grapplers have connecting their main grapple tool.
Yeah. And then there's Tager. We don't talk about Tager.
Tager works under different rules. Tager's also gone through a lot of different incarnations. I only just found out yesterday due to a Twitter thread of amusing fighting game wiki notes. I only just yesterday found out apparently Tager's supposed to be really fucking awful in the very first BlazBlue and considered just an awful dog shit character.
Nice.
Supposedly, the the magnet mechanic in that game is described as mechanic that sucks in your opponent's normals just to make sure that they hit you.
Nice. So I'm assuming in that game it doesn't stun you.
No, I guess it would seem not. I hadn't heard notoriously that the first BlazBlue is a horribly unbalanced game. I forget who was it? The first BlazBlue was definitely the notorious start of Ice Car. But I want to say Carl Clover was also pretty fucked up in that game, if memory serves.
But yeah, like the fucking Tiger and Kanji are just like, okay, any anime fighter grappler characters. Tiger is like, fuck your movement. Here's grab. Kanji is like, fuck your grab. Everything is grab. Die.
Hey, well, what makes Kanji scary is just that he denies the airspace to you. Which means you have to actually stand. And if you have to stand, Kanji gets to pressure you. If Kanji pressures you, then you're not doing anything and he gets to move in and do his actual throw.
Yeah.
There's very few grapplers who have such command of the airspace as Kanji does. And an anime fighter, then that is important. Though Persona's not as crazy, hyperactive, 8,000 air dashes as some anime fighters.
Yeah.
I mean, the big example I can think of is fucking Zangief in Marvel vs. Capcom 2. I try to make him work every time we play Marvel vs. Capcom 2. That does not change the fact that in Marvel vs. Capcom 2, Zangief kind of fucking sucks. How many situations in Marvel are you really going to hit an SPD? Very few of them. In a game that features goddamn Storm with her 8 million air dashes and the lightning thing, and she has projectiles out the ass. Oh, here's Magneto, who can be anywhere on the screen at any time. You're not SPDing any of these motherfuckers. Get real.
Yeah. I mean, that happens with some of our characters. Because like Akuma in Marvel 2 is also bad, apparently. I can't tell you exactly why, but he is supposed to be bad.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Like, we must each have a game where we pick a top tier, right?
I mean, I play Akuma.
Yeah, Akuma's been top tier in several games. And Injustice 2, I played a bit of Red Hood, but other than that, like in NRS games, well, Mortal Kombat's not nearly as roughly balanced as an Injustice, but like, I don't know, I tend to pick a lot of stinkers. Yeah, my go-to SF character is Geef, and Geef is probably the most routinely bad character in Street Fighter. Him and Ryu really are the two that are always stuck with it. But Ryu's like a comparative suck. Ryu's not bad, it's just that there's always better Shotos than him on the roster.
Yeah.
I mean, 6 right now. Ryu's got a lot of cool tools. The trouble is, Ken is there and he has Dragon Lash. And Ryu doesn't.
And Luke is also there, and he can deny all of the fireballs.
Yeah, Luke is there with Sandblast and Charge Knuckle.
Yeah.
Geef's already... I guess Geef is in actually pretty similar space in 6 because Manal.
Yeah.
Nonetheless, it was cool to see that big tournament was won by Snake Eyes. It was pretty cool. Did you get to see the footage of Snake Eyes' Geef versus that JP?
No.
It's pretty cool. He just kept getting zoned out throughout the entire match, but patiently waited and won the whole set.
Nice. And thus Geef was nerfed.
Yeah. There you go. All right, JP has won 10 matches. Geef has won 1. Well, we intend this to be a 11-0 matchup, so it's time to nerf Geef.
Yeah. I mean, we don't have to worry about that though, because Capcom has said that they only balance the game once every year.
Yeah, which to be honest, like as a Total War fan, Total War Warhammer really only receives 3 balance patches a year. It makes a lot of people upset. It makes Soon pretty upset. Honestly, I'm in favor of it. I prefer getting used to the meta before it moves on. I have a bit more trouble keeping up with rapidly moving metas.
See, I just don't like the meta.
Like, well, Street Fighter in particular, I don't think they're going to really undo a lot. Like, What you don't like about Street Fighter 6 is throw looping and drive impacts. And at the pro level, neither of those are really a problem. I don't know if they'll do anything about them then.
Yeah, I mean that, but also like even like disregarding like my personal issues, like I prefer games where the meta can change faster, just because if I don't like the meta, then we're not stuck in this for long.
See, by now, because of examples like Dead by Daylight and Rainbow Six Siege, I'm used to games that feel fairly fun, and then they update it and ruin everything.
That's also
or
fair.
Overwatch.
Yeah. I mean, with Overwatch, Overwatch is the worst of both worlds, because they have rapid meta changes, but all the rapid meta changes are just play Reinhardt, fucker. So
yeah. I can't think of a game that was more so ruined for me than Overwatch. Of so much fun during the open beta and stuff, and then it's just like, nope, fucking. Your characters that you liked, and specifically you, Alex, nope, stop playing them.
Yeah.
Lucio, straight into the dumpster. And for you, they dumpstered. Junkrat has never been really crazy. I forget, were you a big Roadhog fan back in the day? Okay.
No, my guys were Junkrat and Zenyatta.
Oh yeah, Zenyatta got a little bit dumpstered too. Every healer except Brigitte. And Brigitte's a great healer because she's not a fucking... She is a healer, but she's specifically great because the other things they gave her, because she's mini Reinhardt.
Yeah. And then Junkrat was very situational, and then if memories... Like, the thing with Junkrat is that Junkrat is very situational because of his bombs and the fact that he's, like, set around traps and shit. You're either never getting to play him because the two ninjas are in the game. And if you do get to play him, you will probably die in 2 seconds because Junkrat dies to a wind.
Also, you don't have despite being Mr. Explosive Supreme, you don't actually have the burst damage necessary to take down a Reinhardt.
Yes.
So if you want to play the damage role for the team, you pick somebody like fucking McCree, who I enjoy, but I don't want him to be a mandatory pick.
Yeah.
Now, granted, neither of us are Overwatch experts here, though. You don't have to be an Overwatch expert to know that Reinhardt is the mandatory pick. But, like, my God, I mean, at some point when we have one of these Overwatch talks, I just need to explicitly say, like, okay, if you want to play Overwatch and have fun, you play Team Fortress 2.
Yeah.
If you want to play Junkrat, you don't play Junkrat. You play Demo Man.
I don't know, because Demo Man isn't exactly the same.
No, he isn't. There's definitely a clear movement speed difference.
That and also like the thing of like Demo Man. I don't actually know. Demo Man can probably do like rocket boosting or something similar. I mean,
fantastically, yes. Sticky jumping.
But yeah, but you have to use the stickies for that. I don't like the stickies.
Yeah.
Because then you have to switch between the guns.
See, well, the trick there is... The trick there is if you don't want to switch guns... Well, actually, I'm not sure how that works. No, wait, yeah, what it is you replace the sticky bomb launcher with a shield. So that right-click no longer detonates bombs, it makes you charge. And then you figure out the legendary trimping technique. Do you know what trimping is?
No.
It is a special technique involving ramps. So Demo Man's
you just fly off of ramps.
You what?
You just fly off of ramps. You just run them up and just...
Yes, actually.
I see.
Yeah, actually, yes. Because it's part of a quirk of the way that the Source Engine handles sudden bursts of speed. You hit the charge button as you're about to hit a ramp, and Demo Man will not just launch off the ramp. He inexplicably picks up speed much faster than he should. So Demo Man players, this is an important technique for Demo Knight players. For anyone who is not Demo Knight, it is always the most terrifying fucking unholy thing to witness. You will hear Demo Knight drunkenly screaming as you see him sail through the air in your direction while he's leaving a like fucking after image trail, and it carries through all the momentum of the charge to increase the damage of the attack he hits at the end. That's part of the mechanics.
Yeah.
So notoriously, a sniper will be sitting up in his sniper nest, and he hears from the other side of the map a demo man go, "Ah!" And he suddenly sees the demo man arrive and kill him in one blow, and the demo man just keeps running. It's the most insane. Okay, I'll have to. Okay, I won't bother sending it because you wouldn't give a shit. But my god, demo night kill streak compilations are the most insane things to witness.
I imagine.
He's not playing Team Fortress. He's playing Sonic the Hedgehog.
He's playing Chivalry.
No, he ain't!
He's playing Sonic Robo Blast.
It's like he is honestly sometimes doing the fucking midair spin dash.
Yeah.
The little homing bullshit that Sonic does in the 3D games. All right. Yeah, we went way off topic. Though, as much time as we need to fill without the Pinker here today, yeah, it's not too bad to fill for time.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, go ahead.
For another example of a game that got in when it was obscure, this one's pulling way back. This is a decade ago now. But this is a game that's managed to stick with, I believe, the kiddies. But Terraria, I got in back when it was a wee big game. I got in. The insane thing with Terraria, I got in back when there were only 3 bosses in the game. Eye of Cthulhu, Eater of Worlds, Skeletron. That was it. The jungle biome did not have the Queen Bee. There was no Wall of Flesh. There was no hard mode. There was none of the fucking 20 new bosses that came with hard mode. And let me tell you, that was a different game back then.
Yeah, I imagine.
Like, you beat Skeletron, and from there, it's kind of like, well, now what?
Yeah. Guess I'll go play Starbound.
Yeah, there you go. A game that very much did not exist back then, because my god, that Starbound would have melted people's minds if it came out in 2011. Unfortunately, it didn't come out in 2011.
I mean, Starbound isn't out even now. Starbound is abandoned. It's never getting finished.
Yeah. Had some really neat ideas, but yeah. I'm going to throw out another one that's big with the kiddies now, and I got in long before it. But way back in the ancient days of probably like 2006 or 2007. A little browser game. Well, I think I forget if you really installed it, but a little game called Roblox.
Yeah.
And, I was a wee little tycoon, and I was like, oh, this is neat. But eventually, just moved on.
Yeah, eventually your Roblox girlfriend left you, and you got depression, and you left.
Yeah, there you go. And what Addy was speaking of, apparently it's managed to stick around with the kiddies far more than I ever anticipated, and has become something of a wider trend for the younger folks that...
Not only has it stuck around, I don't know if you've heard the news. Apparently, they're thinking of adding a dating app. Why?
All right, then.
Yep.
Anyway.
I don't see any possible problems with that. Do you?
I have no idea if that's a meme or not. I'm just not going to... Let's move on. Yeah, that's a funny thing. The little kiddie browser game. I don't have any money to spend, and I'm a little kid, so I'm just gonna grab whatever I see free on a browser. Oh, it's huge in 20 years.
Yeah. Yeah. See, when I got around to that age, I just played Flash games, and like watched Flash animations and shit. So I guess technically not a game, but one of an animation that blew up a while ago that I watched fairly early, as far as I'm aware, is there was this animation by Scott Falco called Super Mario Hayden, I think, and it's yeah
Hayden or Gaiden?
Hayden,
Hayden.
yeah, and it's someone I don't know where. Well, the audio, if I'm research, came from Nico Nico Doga, which is Japanese YouTube, but I don't know who did the cover or whatever, but it's someone who wrote a song onto the, I believe, Super Mario World main theme, and it's an animation of that.
Huh.
It's one of those things where, like, I remember really liking the animation and shit, and then I came across Scott Falco completely separately because he does reviews now. Came across him doing that, and then eventually there was just a video of him remaking that, and I went, oh no.
Huh.
But yeah, for games, I don't know if it count this, because it's not really mainstream, but it's more mainstream than I ever would have imagined. But Sengoku Basara.
It still really hasn't landed in the West at all.
That's why I'm saying, like, it's more mainstream than I would have imagined, but I wouldn't say it's mainstream just yet, because, like, they're not really, they're trying to make the space for it. It seems Capcom has acknowledged it on the Western internet now, and people have like, I have seen more people talk about how it's a game, and that's what's surprising me, because when I was growing up, I read about Sengoku Basara in a magazine, and I went, that game looks cool, I want to buy that, and then I spent a couple of months trying to get a copy of Sengoku Basara 1 for PS2.
See, that's I haven't yet heard about this, but I've been saying this for a while. Dynasty Warriors has a big legacy in the West. It's pretty well the Muso game for most people. At the same time, I think for a lot of people, Dynasty Warriors more or less stopped with 8. And 8 was over a decade ago now. So if there's any time to try and jump up and take the crown, it's probably right fucking now.
Yeah. I hope that they do something, any fucking thing, to try and make that happen. But so far, I don't know. Like, once again, they have acknowledged it because there's the Capcom 25 site, or whatever they call it, their anniversary site, and Date Masamune is heavily featured on the site. Sengoku Basara was in the first popularity poll and won it. So
yeah.
And they've acknowledged that it actually came out, and they gave the context of the game comes out, and this is what happened to it in the West and shit. So it really seems like they're trying. They're thinking about doing something. I just want to see what it is. I want to know, because it's probably nothing, and I don't want to be disappointed.
Yeah. That's
yeah.
That would be really cool. I think, like, it needs to get in before this trend of interest in Japanese insanity passes.
Yeah.
Because I think we're coming up on a big change in trends. This series of trends that's been going on for a while. I mean, we're already starting to see some trends that define the 2010s already getting passed over. Right? We always talk about it in fighting games. Part of what defined the 2010s was the mentality of let's simplify the fighting games.
Yeah.
And that's very much now becoming passé, as we can see with the top 3 fighting game franchises in history all coming out with new entries that are decidedly not simplifying.
Yeah.
It does make me question what trends are more so around to stick around and which ones aren't. Because it's still fun, no matter what, to look back at 90s advertising, for instance, and see, like, everything be hardcore, and be like, man, it's so silly that we ever thought that was cool. But then you follow it up with, oh no, wait, we're about to see something, a new change happen that may lead to something like this coming around again. Who knows? Because we're about to come up on a generation of young kids who weren't around for the hardcore era. So for them, the hardcore thing is going to be less immediately worthy of mocking. So who knows where we're going to end up?
Yeah, I mean, look, if this means that Elephant Mario has a tribal tattoo, then
dude, I would pop so fucking hard for how stupid that would be.
Fucking Sonic Frontiers gets an DLC outfit where he just blatantly has an RC armband.
Well, that would be Shadow. You know that would be Shadow.
I mean, you would think so, but it didn't use him in that advertisement. Actually, I don't remember if it was an advertisement or if it was fan art. I think it was somewhere in between, if memory serves. Alright, so the thing I'm referencing is there was this PlayStation, not PlayStation, what was it? Might have been PlayStation, whatever. It was some sort of like official magazine for a video game console in like the late 90s, early 2000s. And they ran an ad about how Sonic the Hedgehog is better than Mario. And it was an advertisement of Sonic killing Mario in a gruesome way, and he had a Nazi armband on for no reason.
Oh, right. Yeah. I remember seeing that. That was wild.
So that's the thing, like, I don't know if that was official. I
don't
hope
think
it wasn't.
Was, my God, the stink.
Yeah. Like, I would hope
There's no way at that time period where the ESRB was just getting its start due to whatever Mortal Kombat was doing, I can't imagine they would have been happy with Sonic doing that in an official capacity.
In the next Crash Bandicoot, which in itself is a joke as a sentence, but in the next Crash Bandicoot,
I don't know. Crash 4 was a pretty big success, wasn't it?
It was, but the people who made it are already in the COD mines.
Oh right, yeah, I forgot they got put in the COD mines. Yep, because Activision literally can't do anything right; they just survive off of the COD brand name.
Yeah. So yeah, in the next Crash Bandicoot game, which once again is a joke in itself, they're just gonna canonize that Crash Bandicoot is in a loving relationship with Lara Croft.
Oh god.
Which actually was a part of a video advertisement, if memory serves.
I do, yeah. There was that entire generation where Sony was trying to advertise on basis of using both Crash and Lara Croft and trying to say, you know, fuck Sonic, fuck Mario, fuck Link and Samus. Here's our icons.
Yeah. In fact,
both of those really stuck out.
Yeah. But yeah, like, you know, the thing with the whole hardcore stuff too is that, like, depending on which parts we bring back, I'm fine with it, cause, like, you know, I don't mind the aesthetic. I don't. There's a point to which I can say I don't care. But yeah. But what matters is that we don't go back to G4. We've tried. It was a bad idea.
Yeah. I think, like, at the end of the day, that was fundamentally never going to seriously work. Partly on something they, at the time, probably wouldn't have been able to predict, which is just simply people who were already big enough with, you know, good enough with technology to be big enough fans of video games that they want to watch shows about video games are probably going to be good enough with tech, and this is 2006 or 2007 when you had to have been quote-unquote good with tech to understand that YouTube is a thing to exist, or to make a YouTube channel and record videos. But nonetheless, people are always going to be, people with an eye for that sort of gaming-focused thing were never going to go with G4 over YouTube channels. And that wasn't going to change with the modern era where people are even more reliant on YouTube.
Yeah. Although without those sorts of channels and content vlogs, we wouldn't have gotten gaming in the Clinton years.
Yeah. Oh God.
Like that's I feel like that series is one of those things where like if you make reviews, in a similar style, as in if you make shit like I do, you look at those videos and either you're faced with the horrors of what you're doing, or you go, fuck, at least I'm not this.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Ugh.
Other games that we're hipsters for. Let's see.
I want to look over at the old PlayStation shelf. Okay, here's a poll.
Yeah.
Red Dead.
I suppose.
You say you're a Red Dead Redemption fan. Tell me, have you played Red Dead Revolver, pussy?
Yeah. Name all of the Red Dead.
Name more Reds, name more Deads.
Yeah.
You can't. You stupid idiot.
See, I think you have an easier time with this because like I can't generally I can be an early adopter of games, and then the obscure stuff I like doesn't really get big, like fucking Mr. Driller or Songbird Symphony.
Yeah, Master Driller was like one of those solid arcade games in the PS1 era.
Yeah. I mean, I guess technically, I suppose if you really want to count it, I got into Tekken early because I played 3. that was...
Yeah, well, that was when it hit big for most people, I would say, but
Yeah.
You're definitely ahead of the majority of fans nowadays who got in with 7.
Yeah.
Because 7 has Noctis or Negan.
Yeah, but that's also one of those things where like, do we really count it when it's what I had access to, and it was after it really made it big, because like I played, like, my first Street Fighter was Street Fighter 2, but like that was also 2004, so
Yeah. You would not have been born by the time that that Tekken made it big.
yeah.
Oh boy.
And like even the things that I like that make it somewhat become more like cult classics, like I keep bringing it up, but it's a good game, that's why. But Dust and Elysian Tale. People generally, like, the only times I see discussions, it's either one of those things. It's either the game with the bad voice acting, which, yeah, sometimes, yes. Or that furry game, which I suppose, well, there's more to it, but I suppose. Because, like, if you don't mind the art style of the characters and all that, then the game is hand drawn. It looks nice. Well, it's aged, but it looks nice for when it was made, and it's fairly well put together as a Metroidvania, I think. So
yeah.
like there's a good game under there. People just don't really recognize it because this indie game didn't have the budget to hire completely 100% professional voice actors, and
Yeah.
has an aesthetic that they don't like. Which, I mean, I guess that second one I can understand a bit more, at least.
Yeah.
I guess Guacamelee, now that I think about it.
Well, yeah, Guacamelee is definitely one that turned out to be a Guacamelee. I almost say, like, that kind of time period, the early 2010s. Did you watch the YouTube channel back in the day, Nerd Cubed?
Yes.
I feel like Nerd Cubed back in the early 2010s was good for highlighting a lot of the incoming cool indie stuff.
Yeah.
And I don't really have any channels like that I watch anymore. So there's just not a whole lot anymore of me, like, finding out about, somewhat, underrated, unheard of games before they really hit it big,
Yeah. On the other hand, I actually have a guy I follow for that. The problem with them is that, it's they used to be well, times changed. People change.
Yeah.
They used to not be just kind of squeaky clean kids YouTuber, but they are now, and
Yeah.
it can get a bit grating. But at the same time, they are like, they don't play every indie release or whatever, but they pick a good serving of just like, here's some weird fucking simulators, I guess, because that's what they flooded my inbox with this week. Here's the this random indie game that I saw on Next Fest. That looks cool. And
yeah.
This means that I get to see games very early in development. Like, for example, I was actually gonna say, like, do we count games that we technically didn't play until long after they made it big, but at the same time we have seen their rise and maybe fall? Because in that case, I've seen Reft go from very early beta, like a barely a proof of concept, going to being a game with an actual like storyline and shit. I've seen Astroneer get a traction, release, and then everyone forget about it because it's there, I suppose.
Yeah.
But like Reft, I still haven't played myself because my PC can't run it. And Astroneer, we played it, and I mean, it was some fun, but the port
Your
wasn't
PlayStation
great.
couldn't run it.
Well, no, that wasn't even my PlayStation. That was just Astroneer.
Xbox.
Well, yeah, but that wasn't really like, that was a port problem. More so than a
Yeah. Well, no, I wasn't personally insulting your Xbox and saying you have a bad Xbox.
Yeah. And I mean, even then, the game ran fine. The problems arose when all three of us played together, and we were like fucking miles apart, and we were all still on the whatchamacallit, the air system.
Yeah.
Because if you remember, once we turned off air support and just started suffocating, the frames returned. So.
Heh.
And I don't know what else, because there's a couple of those. The forest. I shit you not. I've seen the forest get made. And
I kind of did too. Yeah. Well, you and I both probably would have been watching Super Best Friends at that time, no?
Probably. And then what else? Because I feel like there's a game that you would know. Well, Stranded Deep.
Yeah, Soon was real big on Stranded Deep because he heard it was a survival game that had an ending, and that was suddenly like a huge revelation to him.
Yeah, Stranded Deep. If memory serves, the first time I saw Stranded Deep, it was literally just, you're on an island, there's coconuts, eat.
Nah.
and then slowly it just went from, you spawn on an island, you have whatever's on the island, and then you die, to you now spawn on a raft, floating towards an island, and then you figure that shit out, and then they added more stuff, and now there's a story and all that.
Yeah.
And I guess among similar lines, a game that is 90% the same game, fucking Green Hell.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've seen a good couple of games go into somewhat relevance, and Phasmophobia, actually, that too. But yeah, so going to from a very early stage to somewhat fully featured, and then gain relevance, and then maybe lose it sometimes. But
yeah,
I haven't played, like, I haven't, I don't really have the opportunities to just go, oh yeah, I played this game before it came out, or like whatever, and it made it big. Fighter Z. Fucking. I was in the closed beta for Fighter Z.
Yeah, and then there was the open beta. We played that, and that was like the only time I've really seen like a Pink do something crazy in a fighting game like that.
Yeah, and then I made sure Pink has no purpose in life.
Yeah, I let him have some fun just so you could just as a setup for you, then to ruin the fun for him.
Yeah. Because back then, I just figured we were still, we were on the same level. So I went, alright, fuck it. I figured out that this is Stinky. As in, the entire character of Ginyu.
Yeah.
And I thought, hey, wouldn't it be funny if I do it on recording once? And then I did it, and it was funny, and then the video corrupted. And then I recorded it again.
Yeah.
And I did it again, and it was still funny, and then it corrupted again. And then
Yeah.
5 months later, the game was once again on a free weekend. So we recorded it again, and it corrupted again. And then cut to 2 years later, it's once again on free weekend. I go, Pink, I am not going to do the Ginyu thing. Instead, I gave you the instructions on how to do the Ginyu thing.
Yeah, and I think I still fucked it up, didn't I?
If memory serves, yes. And that's the actual video that we posted, because that's all of the Fighter Z footage that we got. That one time that we played because I unlocked Android 21.
Yeah. Because I like Android 21, but I'm not going to actually go through that story mode to fucking unlock her.
Yeah, and if memory serves, in that video, I chose 21. You immediately got me into like a loop, and then I switched out 21. And then I win the match, but 21 did fuck all in the entire match.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah, that I guess I was also in the For Honor beta, but like, was that game mainstream?
Yeah, that's an interesting question.
Like, you know, it's one of those things where like there was that time when I was in pretty much every game's closed beta for Ubisoft, but which of those games really made it mainstream? Because like For Honor was probably the most successful overall, but like, you know, it's still For Honor. Steep, I thought Steep was very neat. No one liked Steep.
No. It's the sort of game that would have succeeded back in the PlayStation 2 days, where it would have been acceptable to just have a game that's snowboarding. Nowadays, people are perhaps a little bit, unless you're specifically a big snowboarding fan, people are a little less hungry to just grab anything that's on shelves that doesn't play like ass, you know?
Yeah, and I mean the one big thing that kept us from playing Steep is that remember the one time we tried to connect on PlayStation because it was on PS Plus, it just wouldn't. We spent an hour trying to connect to each other's games and it just wouldn't.
I remember that, yes.
So yeah. Let's see what else was around that time. The game where you're playing as the Army for Hire guy. That's an MMO. It's in Chicago. Oh no, it's not in Chicago. Where the fuck is it? It has Tom Clancy's name on it.
Oh, I have no fucking clue.
There's 2 games. Shit. The Division? I think that might be the name.
Oh boy, we didn't get more than 30 minutes into it, whatever it was, and I have no memory of actually playing it. I remember us trying it at some point, but that's it.
I don't remember us playing it together at all, which doesn't mean that we never did. I just probably deleted it from my memory if we did, but I was also in the beta for the first games for the first game. In fact, I think I was in the beta for both of those. Huh. Because I remember playing during the beta of the first one and going, hey, this is neat. I could see something cool coming out of this. And then, no. And then got to the second game's beta, and I went, yep, this is like the first game.
Yep.
Let's see what else. Because they were a fuck ton. I mean, I was in the beta for at least like 2 of the Trials games, maybe 3. But Hmm. I don't know what else came out around that time, but you know it's basically if anything came out around that time and it has a multiplayer component, you can probably assume that I was in the open or closed betas, which were invite only as far as I'm aware. So
Yes. Yeah, there was a lot of betas back then. We were in the Conan Exiles beta, weren't we?
no, that was supposed to be a full. Well, I don't know if they call it a full release, but it was supposed to be the just the console port.
Huh, okay. We were definitely in the Vermintide beta. I remember that.
Try to think of other games that all three of us were a part of that weren't finished. Because like you know, for me personally, like I was also in other games betas, but like the you know you'll be surprised to find out that the games that were just like, hey, what if Smite? Yeah, one of like in fact I think I was in like 3 of those, or I was invited to at least like 5, but I only joined 2 of them because I went, hey, this might not just be Smite that it was, but yeah, I think out of the 5 of those, 2 of them made it out of the beta phase, and one of like I think both of them died within a year, so not quite mainstream.
Hmm. Yeah, that was Jesus. That was a whole like time period there. Damn.
Yeah, now, if you want to get access to the beta, you better pre-order.
Yeah.
Then again, I guess it also depends on the company, because like, you know, not Midway, Warner Brothers.
Though, yeah, I know Midway's been a lot like that lately.
Yeah, yeah, Warner Brothers did that. Activision obviously does that. I forget who else does it where it's pre-ordered for the beta. Ubisoft doesn't, which I know because I've read about people online signing up for the open beta of Skull and Bones, which you know I'm not gonna lie, I've been signed up for the Skull and Bones beta for the past 7 years.
That sounds correct. Yes.
And
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure if I wanted to actually be in the beta, I would need to sign up again, because I'm pretty sure that they canceled the version that I signed up for. But
because that game's never fucking coming out.
no, like the Ubisoft really like. I think it's the Dutch that they owe money to. I forget. But who is it that whose government are they siphoning money from?
I do not know.
Whatever, whichever country it is. Like I just imagine eventually the government, like the army of that government will just, you know, storm the Ubisoft headquarters, the local one, and then just decapitate everyone that's located there.
Ritually.
Yeah, to send a message. And then
Make
then
it
they
clear, you do not fuck with us.
and then they start marching towards France.
Gotta finish the job.
Yeah. But yes, Skull and Bones is never coming out. If it comes out, I will be so surprised. Like if it comes out, then
if it comes out, the people at Ubisoft are gonna be fucking surprised.
Yeah. I mean, if Skull and Bones comes out, like I imagine, you know, you load it up and it's this elaborate splash screen, and then you press start, and it just loads up a Flash game.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. That would be awesome. Just an obviously horribly low budget bullshit game.
Like it loads up balloons, not tower defense. The game that spawned the tower defense series. It loads up that game, but it's like they made the graphics worse.
Yeah. Oh, fucking awesome.
Like it's balloons, but instead of the archer monkey, it's the pirate monkey, which is in a ship and fires a cannon. But once again, it's drawn so crudely that it's like to call it a stick figure would be an insult.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then it's playing the Resident Evil remake Underground Lab team.
What's funny about that?
I'm forgetting. Oh, it's not the Underground Lab. It's the basement, I think, that has the team.
Okay. Did you say Resident Evil remake?
One of them. It wasn't the original game. It might have been
It wasn't a remake
edition.
at all.
Was it the director's edition?
It was the DualShock edition.
Oh, that one. Yeah. Yeah, that song.
Yeah, there you go.
That
fucking winner.
Yeah. And it's in the game illegally, so they're also getting sued by Capcom.
Yeah, there you go, just to complete the deal.
Yeah, what other games did you like that got big after, I guess?
Well, now I can't think of anything. Now I'm just thinking of stupid, stinky memes.
How else do you want Ubisoft to fall?
Yeah? But, we're only answering part of the question here. We're answering what franchises did we get into? What franchises do you think, what franchise or game did you get into that you also thought clearly this game is never going to make it big? Because, Yakuza is one I could have said, yeah, people gave this game a chance. People would find the cutscenes funny. They think it's cool that you can go around beating people up. But,
I mean, I'd say that Sengoku Basara for me still stands, even though it hasn't reached the like as we've discussed, it hasn't reached the critical acclaim that it should. But
making a bold prediction.
Yeah. I don't think Sengoku Basara will be the next card. But I think if they don't fuck up the Western release, if there will be a Western release, if they don't fuck it up this time too, I think it could actually do something, anything.
Yeah.
Like, it could at least do the same thing it does in Japan, where it's like, Dynasty Warriors, but with strictly Japanese history, and also more complex gameplay, but less people on screen, which is what it is.
Yeah.
Like, I think there's a quite well-defined place where Sengoku Basara fits overall. I just wanted to do the same in the West. If I can go to my local Tesco and buy the Data Masamune rice cooker, then that's when I will be satisfied.
So you will never be satisfied.
No. They keep Xing me. I want to say they keep Xing me on Twitter, but that's the joke. It's not Twitter anymore. Fuck.
No, yeah, they keep Xing me.
Yeah, but yeah, they keep Xing me on X. To X. No, to buy the Sana Yukimura and Date Masamune rice cookers, but they only sell them in Japan. I also don't need a rice cooker, but more so the first one.
Yeah, I think if they need to be selling that rice cooker to anybody, they need to be selling it to the Punisher.
Yeah. Like, what if I want to go and watch the Sengoku Basara play?
Get fucked?
Yeah. There's something about the the multimedia avenues that Japan has that is very just like weird to me, at least. Because like a tie-in comic, whatever, makes sense, I guess. Other like media, like the animes or whatever, fine, makes sense. Charms and like towels and shit. Okay, you're kind of getting into the weird territory, but it still makes some sense. Rice cooker. I suppose it's like a market thing. The plays?
Yeah, I'll never understand the Persona plays.
I mean, the thing with these plays too is that they are very faithful to the games. I've watched the Yakuza play. That's not a joke. There is a Yakuza Kiwami or whatever, Yakuza 1. I forget if it was adapted before Kiwami or not. But there's an adaptation of Yakuza 1 that is a play. Someone uploaded a recording of it with subtitles to YouTube. And in the middle of a fight, Kiryu stops time to drink stamina.
Yeah, you told me about this. Yeah.
And it's one of those things where like that's very stupid and very video gamey. I love it. But also, why is this a play?
Yeah.
Or like I've seen footage of the Persona 5 play. Because I was watching someone else talk about something relating to Persona, I forget. But yeah, they brought it up. I was like, here's this weird thing. And it was the actor actually had like a paper mache mask. They pulled it off, and in the fucking the screen behind them, Arson appeared and started doing Mudo. not Mudas. The spell Mudo.
Amazing.
On the other actor. And they conveyed the persona doing magic through the screen, and it looked really bad. But I commend their enthusiasm. Like,
oh God.
like once again, it's one of those things where like if they took this more seriously, or I don't know what to call it, like call it like if they tried to adapt it more grounded, I would be disappointed because it's the right amount of camp where like I wouldn't say that it's like a good product necessarily, unless you're already a fan of the thing that they're adapting. But at the same time, it's just fan service. Like the entire play is just fan service. And like, hey, we tried to make it work. It won't. But we tried.
I wouldn't have tried.
Yeah.
And that's why I fail.
Like, although imagine if they used the Hatsune Miku technology to make personas in the play.
Oh, holograms! I see. That would have been actually kind of neat.
Yeah, the problem with that is that the problem with the hologram stuff that we have so far is that at least as far as I'm aware, which I haven't researched it too much, as in at all, but it's still the holograms that we have nowadays are still very much based on like the reflective, like the mirror design that was in like the 80s. And the problem with that is that Hatsune Miku isn't actually being projected like on stage. Hatsune Miku is reflected onto the stage, making it seem like she's there. But the thing that's making her move around and shit, that's just like this small mirror, and she's actually projected off of the stage, like from the back. And the problem with that is that if you try to make that work, you can't have actors, because if the actors block the light,
the reflection,
yeah, then you're not fucking seeing Hatsune Miku.
How is that hologram shit they did back in the day to make Tupac the ghost of Tupac appear on stage with Snoop? How'd they do that?
That's how they used the Hatsune Miku stuff.
So Snoop just never stood in the wrong place?
I guess. I don't know. I would need to do more research into the actual like mechanics of how that shit works. But I do know for a fact that the same thing that brought Tupac back to life is the thing that gives Hatsune Miku life, which is a sentence.
Yeah.
Tupac is my favorite Vocaloid, and Hatsune Miku is my favorite gangster rapper.
Yeah, either one works as a humorous exchange. Yes.
Uh,
I would. Okay, this is definitely a thing that already exists, and I don't want to hear it, but unless I'll say it as a joke. I would love to hear Hatsune Miku's ambitions as a rider. Hatsune Miiku's "The streets are death row."
Yeah. I mean, the problem with that stuff is that if you try to listening to it without subtitles, you wouldn't fucking understand, because even though there's an English version of Miku that is supposed to speak English, her synthesis isn't great. So,
No, I would imagine not.
like, she can be very well used, but in most of the, like, she's very from what I've seen of the back end, the Vocaloid stuff is actually like very versatile. But to make it function properly, you're not just typing in the lyrics or stuff like that. You go in, you type it in phonetically, and then you refine that. And it's in the refinement that trips off people, because I assume that everything that I've heard, or at least most things that I have heard that use the Vocaloid technology, I figure most of that shit has been refined, at least to some extent. A lot of them weren't refined enough. Like, I prefer the Japanese.
Mike just
yeah? Go ahead.
Mike just recently in the wrestling thread for a laugh. Mike, Mike's big on the WWE 2K23 modding scene. He well, not big as in celebrity, but like he's an active participant in it, I guess. And he just there was one of the modders just made a tool that is an AI voice recording thing for Jerry Lawler, Jim Ross, Stone Cold, Michael Cole, Booker T, several other individuals like announcers and commentators and so on and so forth. And naturally, Mike took that tool and was abusing it to have them say stupid things. And for a little bit in the wrestling thread was having us pitch up suggestions, and we'd have Lawler, or Ross, or Booker say something, right?
Yeah.
And he was talking about the other day how, like, for instance, the word lunatic, they didn't understand it. The voice AI doesn't understand it. So rather than typing out LUNATIC as one word, he was having to type out LOON space UH space TICK.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And now imagine if you did that, and then it still didn't line up quite right. So you had to, the universal like way to denote sound, which is a linguistics thing.
No, I don't. I don't at all. My sister probably would.
So there's this like a complete separate list of symbols that denote which sound is supposed to be depicted. There's something that you see if you learn a language, which is how I came into contact with it, but I don't fucking know how you read that shit. Either which way, using that can make it easier to type it out phonetically, because then the software will try to make it closer to that. But like, even with that, once again, sometimes you just need to go in and be like, no, you put the emphasis on this sound, and it needs to be this much emphasis, and it needs to go this way, it needs to oscillate this way. And it's that shit where, like, I imagine you can make Miku speak English and have it make sense without needing subtitles. But I assume it's also just such a large workload that most people don't bother, which is fair. But it's why I prefer the songs that are in Japanese that feature her, because it's easier for her to work in Japanese, because it has more clearly found sounds, I suppose.
Yeah.
And I guess as a thing to just close off on that, I also just thought of the thing of there's this song titled "The Disappearance of Hatsune Miku." I'm bringing this up because in it, she's basically speed rapping. And
Oh,
the thing is that since she's not real, and in fact a program, they made it so she speaks at inhuman speeds, and in fact, it's in one of the rhythm games. I forget which one. Probably more than one, honestly. Point is, the one that if you search that video that song up on YouTube, the first video you get is from one of the games. In the song she's speaking so fast that they didn't even bother to try to sync up the lip flaps. And I just want to know, like I might need to search up on YouTube if there's a recording of it or whatever. I want to know if when they do the live performances with Miku, if they try to bother to make the lip flaps sync up or not, because it's one of those things where like I wouldn't think so. I would think that they would just use the same animations as they do in the games. But at the same time, you're paying money to quote unquote see her live. So like, I've gotta assume that they would at least try to fine tune it so she actually looks like she's saying the things.
I have no idea how any of that stuff works.
But you see, there's this program called Miku Miku Dance, and it's where you go and make Hatsune Miku porn. That's not completely a lie, but
Good lord.
yeah, it wasn't made for that. But before Source Filmmaker, there was Miku Miku Dance.
I see.
Like what it was actually supposed to be made for is literally just here's the models, the Vocaloid models, or you can import models of your own. You can make it so they dance to the music. You can animate dance animations. That's its purpose. But yeah, before Source Filmmaker became the thing that it is today, that was Miku Miku Dance.
Quote unquote dance animations.
Yeah. But then also a lot of this shit is like stuff that you would need to actually like look into 10 plus or 15 plus year old Nico Nico Doga videos that are entirely in Japanese, and I don't understand Japanese, nor do I have any interest in trying to find that shit out. I just know where to find the information. Like it's one of those things. I don't know if you have those, but it's one of those things where like I have an interest that's like tangential related, as in like I like rhythm games. So eventually I find that shit that's related to Miku or whatever. But like otherwise, I don't really care. If I listen to a Vocaloid song, that song I like it, but like I don't seek it out. So anyway, yeah, video games.
There we go.
That made it big.
Now I've told you that Red Dead would turn into the massive franchise it was. Revolver is a very cool game. Revolver is also a game that wears its cheesiness on its sleeve.
Yeah.
Like Revolver always, it may have the Rockstar label on it, and as a result, they added a couple things that were edgy just to, push boundaries and push the envelope. But other than that, that's a Capcom fucking game right there.
Yeah, Rockstar bought the rights and then they added four cases of fuck, and that's it. That's all they changed.
Yeah. All right. Who here do we still have? It's a voice actor. You. All right. Well, your character says fuck now.
Yeah. Both of you to assume
We're gonna add a button for bathe with prostitutes.
Yeah.
It refills your health and does nothing else. We're just throwing it in so that we can rockstar it up and say, "Hey, sex."
Both of you to assume that the houses wouldn't just voice everyone.
Yeah. Oh, blimey, Governor, it's good to be a cowboy on this day. Actually, one of the main characters of Red Dead Revolver is an Englishman, and he's very cool. But nonetheless. Yeah, I suppose we've kind of wrapped that up then, huh?
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Because, oh yeah, No More Heroes, that's the one. You reminded me of No More Heroes.
Well, neither of us have played No More Heroes, but yeah, that's one we were both. I don't know, has No More Heroes really like? I don't think No More Heroes has really gotten any bigger than it was 10 years ago, though.
I don't know. I feel like it technically got bigger, but at the same time, it's like, all right, so you're no longer trapped on Wii U, you're now trapped on Switch.
Yeah. Well, it's also on PC. It's also on PC.
1 and 2.
Yes, 1 and 2 are
All
both
right.
ported to PC as well. Now, whether or not we got the PS3 edition, the PS3 little things that came for No More Heroes 1, I don't know. Including the Bizarro mode where all the female bosses now are way stripperier. Including the obese old grandma. No More Heroes would more so be my pick for what's one series you thought would never get a sequel and did.
Yeah. I
did not think.
Yeah.
Like, not that I don't think like Suda51 was ever incapable of making another game again. Obviously, he kept making games long after No More Heroes 2. But I kind of figured like No More Heroes 2 was it. Done.
I was about to say,
but
like,
no,
what's a game that you thought Suda didn't want to make a sequel of?
Yeah. He has now explicitly said, we have wrapped No More Heroes 3. I loved working on No More Heroes 3, but I'm sick of people defining me by No More Heroes, so we've wrapped it with a trilogy, a nice little bow on it. I am now going to move on to other things. Thank you.
Yeah. And then people in the comments...
fuck you, bye.
Yeah. In the comments, people were like, but No More Heroes 3 had a cliffhanger ending.
Did it?
Allegedly, I don't remember.
I mean, shit, No More Heroes 2 decidedly didn't end on a fucking cliffhanger, but whatever. Anyways. Yeah, he's off to go work on... Oh, what was the stupid demon dick gun game? The boner gun.
Shadows of the Damned?
Yes. Yeah, he's off to work on Shadows of the Damned too. We need to get more boners.
He was also working on a game with Swery. I don't know how you're supposed to pronounce their name, but yeah, but apparently there's been a dispute over something.
Those two working together, my god, I could not imagine what would happen.
Yeah. They were making a game. I was gonna call the game Hotel California, but I don't think that's it. It's Hotel something or other. Hotel Casablanca? I don't know. Whatever. Yeah, it's Hotel Mario, the remake.
Yeah, there you go. Now that's a good use of those talented devs.
Yep. But yeah, so they were working on a game together. Devolver Digital announced the game as a joke, and then both of them went, "No, actually, let's do this." And neither of them knew before then.
Oh god.
But apparently there was something some dispute, and Swery allegedly isn't picking up his calls. Who does?
Well, that's how Suda got to take the time off to make a Fire Pro story mode again.
Yeah.
Where this time the protagonist does not kill himself. Wrestling.
Yeah. Instead, the protagonist kills wrestling.
Yes.
According
to Jim Cornette, you do that every time you do a Canadian Destroyer.
Yeah. I was just gonna joke that Fire Pro ends with you joining AEW.
Yeah.
Or something, I don't know.
No, if you join AEW, you don't kill you. Punk does.
No. You don't kill yourself, you kill wrestling. See,
no. But I want topical humor.
I don't know if you I don't know if you got that in your recommended, but I actually got a video in my recommended. I haven't watched wrestling stuff in months. Like the most wrestling related things that I watch are like Botchamania, like once every month. But
Yeah.
yeah, for a couple of days it was just like, you really need to watch this video titled "CM Punk was right,"
Oh no.
and like I didn't because I don't care. But you know,
What I'll grant is, perhaps yes, if the point was CM Punk was correct to tell Jack Perry, no, you can't use a spot with real glass. Use fucking fake glass. Use sugar glass. You dumb shit. Then yes, on that account, yes, Punk was correct that Jack Perry should not be using a spot with real glass. The issue Punk run into was when he started pushing Jack Perry around and then choked him out. Like the line, the line crossing arrives when it is like, that is stupid. I will now take you out of this world.
yeah,
You were a fool, Jack Perry. Now die.
yeah.
Meanwhile, people are like, no, he's going to be good to come to WWE. No.
Yeah, I told you, community manager Brooks, he is all entertainment.
Yeah.
Like I'll only allow that if they announce it that way.
Oh,
that's
God.
that's my terms. That WWE should announce all of their newly signed people as all entertainment.
Yeah. But suspiciously only the steals from AEW.
Yeah. You just wake up one day, you go on X, and it just says Chris Jericho is all entertainment, and you press X to doubt.
No, I throw my phone out the fucking window is what I do.
Yeah.
I just fucking whip it. And it flies out there and nails some passerby on the sidewalk straight in the head.
Yeah, it just happens to be Chris Jericho.
Jericho would get nailed in the head, look at my phone, then look up and go, "You want me to sing a Fozzy song?" And everyone in the neighborhood would in unison say,
"Yeah."
It's just his reaction to everything.
No, I'm imagining he doesn't even ask you if you want him to sing a Fozzy song. He just starts singing Sandpaper.
It's, do you know what the fuck? So the Wembley show is in front of 80,000 people, right?
Yeah.
Wouldn't you know, a couple days ahead, they announced, hey, also at some point during the show, Fozzy's going to come out and play in the ring. Fucking Jericho, a few days ahead, because he knew that the ticket sales would go down if they put a Fozzy spot in there, because everybody fucking hates Fozzy, but Jericho wants to be able to say, I played in front of 80,000 people at Wembley. So Jericho talked Tony Khan into it 3 days ahead or whatever, so that now Jericho is actually going around on Twitter or X or whatever saying, the Rolling Stones never played in front of 80,000 people. This famous band never played in front of 80,000 people. This famous band never played in front of 80,000 people. But you know who did? Fozzy. We're one of the GOATs, baby. That man is living in a fucking alternate fantasy world.
No, not the acronym, the actual animal.
Oh, God. What? See, that's the thing he's never going to escape, is that when people Google Fozzy, they're not going to get the band. They're going to get the fucking Muppet.
Yeah. Are you saying that they're not Muppets?
In the insulting way, yes, very much so. Jericho, I don't know any of the members of the band other than Jericho. Maybe they're cool guys. Jericho, though, has become one of the most despicable individuals in the wrestling industry, which is, my God. Like, look back, King. Oh, I got hair in my mouth. Okay, I think I got it. 10 years ago, WrestleMania 28. It's Jericho versus Punk. Flash forward 10 years later. two biggest dickheads in the business.
Yeah.
Arguably about head to head with the Bucks, and that's like really it.
The Bucks, Omega, and I guess that depends on whether you're talking about just the currently active people or overall time frame. Because like
Omega, neither of us like Omega. At the same time, there's not really that many stories of Omega actually being a douche backstage. There's definitely questionable stuff surrounding him, but he's not got the stories around him that the Bucks or Punk or Jericho do.
No, that's the thing. Because of the questionable things, I am making the assumption. I will say that, but because of all of the questionable stuff surrounding Omega, we don't know of those stories yet. Like he strikes me as a Lawler type of guy.
He does for me as well. I've always had questions about the assemblage of certain individuals on the roster or in regards to Mr. Omega.
But like, yeah, like he really strikes me as like, people say he's great and shit, and like he was great in his territory. That being Memphis for Lawler.
No, Lawler wasn't.
I mean,
Lawler fucking sucked in Memphis.
He was well liked, I guess, is the better way to put it.
No, he wasn't. He was the promoter. He had the promoter's ear most of the fucking time. Well, okay, no, he was a big draw. But still, fuck him. He was on the same card as Macho Man. And, or at several times Terry Funk. And not to act like Jeff Jarrett is anywhere near the star that Jeff Jarrett even vaguely thinks Jeff Jarrett is. But the choices between Jeff Jarrett and Lawler, I'm picking Jeff fucking Jarrett every time. But Lawler always made sure to put himself on top.
If the choice is between Jeff Jarrett and Lawler, I fucking leave.
Well, if I have a gun to my head and it's Jeff Jarrett or Lawler, Jeff Jarrett. Jeff Jarrett, for as annoying as he was, for as much as he forced himself onto the viewer, Jeff Jarrett, so far as I know, never forced himself onto little girls.
I'll give him that. It's a low bar.
It's a low fucking bar to clear. But Jeff, we are proud to tell you, you're not a pedophile.
That we know
of. Yeah. Oh. I don't know. He hit on my aunt. My aunt was an adult woman a grown woman at that point. So he specifically passed over my mom, who had a huge crush on him when she was 14, in favor of my aunt, who would have been quite a bit older.
Maybe he's trying to cover his tracks. We don't know.
Maybe. If he'd have been thinking that far in the late 80s, then that would have been kind of impressive.
Yeah.
Because back in the late 80s, I mean, that was the thing for rock stars and wrestlers. The younger they were, the more socially, the more it indicated your masculinity, because we need to drop an atomic fucking bomb on the United States of America and anywhere else that believed in that crap. But anyways.
But yeah, so where were we before? Oh yeah, the Omega is the new law. Is the current Lawler.
Oh boy! Well, we trailed way the fuck away from the main topic, but I think we pretty well wrapped it up as much as we were going to.
I guess we'll call it then. I don't know.
Yeah, well, folks, we will see you later when we have come back next time with a podcast with. Oh, excuse me. Oh, help!